Hello and welcome to this ADHD Life, a podcast for, well, people living this ADHD life. My name is Keith Griffin. I am trying something new this year. I am going to try a video podcast because I hear video is all the rage, and maybe it'll keep me from my perfectionistic tendency of going and editing every little breath sound and every little miscue and going back and see that I would have re-recorded right there. We'll see how this works out. It is going to be up on my Patreon first for people of the patreon.com/this ADHD Life community, and then it'll be out for the general masses later this week. As I stand here, it is Tuesday the 23rd, so we'll see how quickly this video gets out and the audio follows behind it. I mentioned trying something new. I'm doing a live stream on Twitch as I record this, so that's new for me. I plan to do it more often, and I'll probably publish a schedule of some sort, although that feels a little too non-ADHD for my brain, but I'll probably publish a schedule so that you can hop in and ask questions. As always, if you have questions, info@thisadhdlife.com is the address to write. In addition, you may notice, if you watched any of my Awareness Month videos, I now have glasses. That is new for me as well. Having glasses is not something I love, but I am getting used to it. I can say that I absolutely adore being able to see things better, and I did notice that the clearer that you can see, the more distracted you can become. I attended a retreat, a workshop, whatever you want to call it, last week. And without my glasses, I couldn't read all the book titles in front of me on the bookcases. As soon as I put them on, suddenly I could read every single darn title out there. It was totally crazy. Hello to King Hudson in the chat. How are you doing today? So that's what I'm trying. Something new. Recording this, getting a video out, doing it in live stream, answering chat. Am I setting myself up for failure? Who knows? But what I realized, and something I'm going to try to take to heart for 2018 myself, is that if you don't do something, there's no way you can become an expert at it. There's no way that you can become a perfect person doing it, a perfect podcaster, a perfect public speaker. I was just talking to a friend of mine that has some trepidation about doing public speaking because they want to be perfect at it. But if you don't do it, you can never actually improve. I am not that person in the chat. No. I don't even know who that person is. I'm going to have to Google it. So, something new this year. And that retreat that I was at was pretty cool. In it, I learned about the difference between goals and hopes. It was put on by my coach, Jay Perry, and he explained to us, and I agree, I couldn't believe that I didn't actually get this. Oh, no, I am not that person. God, I don't think I look like Stephen Paddock. Anyway, in it, I realized that I should have had this idea a long time ago. It is much easier, much better for us to send sort of hopes out into the world, things that we hope to accomplish, rather than trying to establish a goal and some, sort of strange set of steps or tasks or a Gantt chart or something like that to get to that goal. And when you say something is a goal, it becomes very inflexible. It's something that you have to do. It's either yes or no. Did I accomplish or did I not? Am I going to beat myself up because I didn't, or am I going to celebrate? Or if you have ADHD, am I going to achieve the goal and just forget that I ever did it? So instead, what if we have hopes? Hopes are flexible. I can change my hope throughout the year if I want to, as long as it has sort of the same intention as what I was going for. Saying that I want to lose some weight this year, okay, some people would say that's not a smart goal, and that's true. You'd want to say, I want to lose 50 pounds by doing this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And great. How about instead I have a hope of weighing 50 pounds less this year. And then maybe when I get towards September and I don't weigh 50 pounds less, but I weigh 30 pounds less, I can adjust it. I don't know. It's kind of strange. All right. Well, I hate to do this. But I got to ban people. That's too bad. Well, like I said, it's an experiment. And for you audio listeners, I'm sure this is fascinating stuff. So here is sort of my hope for the year. And this is going to sound like a crazy one, but I hope that some organization or group of individuals will pay for me to go to Australia to do some public speaking. Yeah, That's what I hope. And when I uttered those words inside of this retreat, I was met with, well, not quite gasps, but definitely the looks on people's faces were gasp quality, because it seems like an impossible goal, especially as someone that, as I stand here today, has zero topics to speak about in a public speaking environment. Now, part of that is untrue. I have topics, but I don't have anything written down. I haven't practiced. I don't have note cards, a PowerPoint presentation. I don't even own a projector. But if I don't have a hope, chances are that I'm not going to have a public speaking presentation by the end of the year. So I had to make it something big, something that I really want, and something that I personally think could be attainable. If I do this well enough, or I speak to the right people, this may very well come true, and I certainly hope it does. Now, in addition to that, you have to start giving yourself space when you have a hope. And I have an article out in the ADA Insider this week. ADA is the Attention Deficit Disorder Association. I will put a link down in show notes once it is published. And that article, I will just surmise it by saying, if you have hopes, goals, resolutions, tasks you want to accomplish, if they're new, you have to give yourself space in order to be able to do them. If you want to cook dinner every night at 7 p.m., but you're normally watching Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, or something from Totally ADD, you're going to have to give up the possibility of doing that, at least not in a non-distracted way. You might have to get a TV for the kitchen. You might still be able to do it, but you might be giving up that comfy butt space on your couch while you're cooking dinner. Anyway, like I said, link down in the show notes as soon as it comes out, and I hope you'll go back and go there and read it. Great news if you are reading challenged, as I am, which means you don't like reading a ton of stuff. It is in audio form as well, right in the post on the ADD.org website. So, got a little post-it note in front of me here, what I'm trying to talk about. I'm trying to do both more and less show prep this year. Meaning I don't want to just turn on the mic and start talking about something necessarily. So I want to have a few notes down, but I don't want to have so many that I feel it's rigid and starting to become a talking head ADHD expert kind of guy. What's next? Reworking my website. I, at the end of last year, posted, and actually I posted an article about this as well, but I realized that I had all of these domains pretty much referencing the same stuff. Same person anyway, right? You all know I do ADHD coaching, productivity coaching, executive function coaching. I do life coaching. All of that is under the umbrella of coaching. I'm starting to write more. I want to do the podcast more. I've started to get into the YouTube video space. If you're watching this, you can see that. And trying to have multiple different domains to manage all that stuff, to compartmentalize, which, by the way, is something that I do very well, or try to do very well, is compartmentalizing the stuff in my life. I could go on volumes about how long I live trying to keep certain friend groups from talking to other friend groups. Mind-boggling. But what I finally realized is this ADHDlife.com is me. It describes sort of me, and it describes something that I think we're all facing. Those of us with ADHD certainly have huge challenges in today's society, just to the fast moving pace of information, the number of things that we could be missing out on, the things we want to do. It all gets really overwhelming. But you know what? We're not the only ones that are facing this challenge. You don't have to have an official diagnosis of ADHD to be focusing on random things at different times, to be feeling overwhelmed, to feel like you're not enough, to feel like you're socially awkward. You can feel any of those. And if you feel all of those and they've been impacting your life, well, you might want to get an ADHD diagnosis, but you don't have to. You can be living this ADHD life regardless of ADHD. And I hope what I put out in these podcasts, videos, and whatnot will help everybody regardless of their ADHD status. That said, this ADHD life is now me. It is now Coach Keith. It's my home base for everything. It'll have the videos, blog posts, podcasts, and whatever the heck else I try to throw at it. Sure, there might be a landing page here and there to try to call out certain things I'm doing. But I have to tell you, there is a great deal of weight that has come off my shoulders that I'd lived with for the past year and a half or so. A great deal of weight that has come off of my shoulders as I made the decision to just focus on one website. And in a way, I've given myself space now. I don't have to think about how to design yourlifecoach.com and keithgriffin.me and eflcoaching.com and your ADHD expert and I can just focus on one thing, and that gives me space to make that one thing better than I think it could possibly be. So changes coming to the website, more content, more videos. I hope you'll stay tuned. All of this, though, speaks to a newfound flexibility that I've had in my life of actually accepting these ideas into my head and understanding that my ADHD brain can be brilliant sometimes. Yours too can be brilliant sometimes, and sometimes it can hold me back. And it's okay. I understand that about myself. Sure, I try to put strategies in place. I try to use techniques. I have a coach myself. I have a group coaching that I'm part of as well. And I talk to friends and I have accountability partners, like all of these tools in my life. I understand that these are the types of things that I need in my life. If you think about it, I use timers all the time. I'm sure you do too. If you're cooking pasta or a frozen pizza or something like that, you probably set a timer. You might ignore it, but you probably set a timer. Recently, I started setting timers for myself as a way to monitor my productivity and make sure that my perfectionism didn't spin out of control. And that's just an understanding that that's a tool that I need to use. And I could look at it as, oh, God, I'm just this ADHD guy that I got to use timers. I'm such a failure that I need to use timers. That's ridiculous. It would be as if I were trying to hammer in a nail with my head because I felt too weak if I had to use a hammer. So understanding flexibility, giving space, those are the types of things that I would encourage you listening to this to start thinking about in terms of 2018. And after you've thought of that, then maybe start developing a hope. What naturally flows out of you when all of a sudden there isn't all this pressure to accomplish it perfectly or to accomplish it at all? I would say this flies in the face of goal setting. These aren't goals. It's a matter of, what do you have hope that will be different this year? I have hope that I will be in Australia by the end of the year. That's my primary hope. What is your primary hope? Comment down below or at thisadhdlife.com, send a tweet, head to Facebook, whatever you want to do. But if you care to share it with me, I would very much appreciate it. Now, here's another fun thing that I had to be understanding with. Sometime yesterday, I killed my domain, This ADHD Life. I got to say, yay ADHD on this one. And yeah, yay ADHD.com's pointing there as well. I had made some updates. I recently made an address change and I went in to start updating the domains. And like, oh, I noticed a couple that weren't pointing to This ADHD Life. So I checked everything and I said, forward these to This ADHD Life. Unfortunately, This ADHD Life was one of those that I had checked, and so it was basically trying to reference itself, and it just completely took down the website. Thank goodness I went earlier today to double check whether a tweet went out with my latest blog post or not, and I clicked it and went, oh, this isn't good. Pretty quick fix, but I say it to just let you know I'm not immune to this stuff. I could have beaten myself up. I could go to bed feeling horrible about myself. Nope, fixed it and moved on. So as always, I'm Coach Keith. I hope you enjoyed the way I'm doing this. I don't know. I'm realizing the audio and interacting with chat may not be as helpful to you audio listeners. I'd love to hear your feedback. info@thisadhdlife.com. On YouTube, Facebook, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, whatever you have to do. I mean, basically try to follow me in some way if you could. And if you're the type of person that likes helping a fellow human live their dreams and more importantly, live out their mission, I would encourage you to check out patreon.com/thisadhdlife. I've recently put a $1 tier on that page because I realized if I could get 10,000 people doing $1 a month, and that's not really a lot of people when you think about the number of people in Atlanta, my current hometown, there are millions of us, is not that many people. 10,000 isn't that many when you consider the word's population. And if I get 10,000 people giving me $1 a month, holy cow, the difference I could make, the different quality I could have. I could have someone professionally producing this perhaps and having it be a little bit more quality. It would just mean so much. And so I thought, why not do $1 a month? We'll see. If this speaks to you, if you're the type of person that likes supporting their fellow human, please visit patreon.com, This ADHD Life. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Coach Keith. Hope to have videos up more regularly. If I haven't had one in a while, feel free to be my accountability partner and send me a reminder email. Take care. Until next time.